So people always ask me what are the pros and the cons of being a medium. Half the time I don't know how to answer that question. But for me, one of the biggest cons is having the ones you love pass on and come back whenever they want. My brother died last year on my 31st birthday. Ever since then, I never know when he's going to come and when he's going to go. Each day is a new battle. And having to say goodbye all the time. How do you say goodbye to somebody you love so much? And having to constantly do it, it hurts. My brother was my hero. He was everything to me. And tonight, it hit me really hard. As I was putting laundry away, I felt a presence in the room. I knew my husband was gone for the night, and it was just me. With a whisper in the ear, I knew it was going to be okay. I knew he was here, but was he going to stay? After a few moments, I gathered my heart. I turned around to see my brother standing there. How do you hear? I get asked. How do you see? I don't know. I was born this way, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Even if I wanted to, I don't think I would. For the simple fact that each and every day, I can help someone somehow, some way. When I was 15, the love of my life passed away. He died in my lap, and I knew he was gone before the paramedics even told me he was gone. I watched him leave his body. I watched him go away. For 3 years after that, he visited me every night. It was hard. I was depressed. The doctors, they said I was insane, basically. I remember when I was 5, my grandpa, who had passed away when my dad was only 6, I was talking to him in my bedroom. My dad came in and asked me who I was talking to. I said, well, my grandpa. And he said, well, your grandpa's been dead for a very long time. I was able to tell my dad things that I didn't or shouldn't have known. And at that point, my dad became scared. He asked me certain questions, and I was able to answer them. It was hard because after that, my mom thought I was crazy. She put me in and out of mental institutions until I had one doctor who actually believed me. The only way that doctor believed me was because I was able to tell them things that I shouldn't have known about their personal life. I told them that the brother who had passed away not only 3 days prior to that visit was standing in the room with them. I was able to tell them the nickname the brother had for them. I was able to tell them things that had happened when they were children. No patient's supposed to know this kind of stuff. At that moment, he finally believed me. He told me I wasn't crazy. He told me I was gifted to enjoy it, to take it, to run with it. And that's what I've done every day since then. I've lost people. I've loved. And it's hard. Because the biggest con for me is having, like I said, to say goodbye every time, not knowing how long they're going to be there, only getting bits and pieces of the messages. It's really stressful sometimes, don't get me wrong. But if you're gifted, enjoy it. It's not a curse. It's not something you should want to get rid of. Because in the end, it's probably going to be your biggest and most valuable thing in life. I miss my brother dearly, and I see him every day. But the hardest part is, like I said, saying goodbye each and every time. I watch so many people who ghost hunt and do these paranormal experiments. They don't know what they're messing with. I've seen evil. I've seen good. I've seen things that nobody else should. I wouldn't wish this on anybody else. I really wouldn't. My cousin and my uncle, well, my cousins and my uncle died in a house fire back in '93. I was 7. And I see them all the time. I try to get them to pass over. I try to get them to leave. I try to make sure that they understand that they're no longer here. But the only people that stay are the people that have unfinished business. The unfinished business could be something just so small that it's simple. Others could be a long life thing. For my uncle and my cousins, it's making sure that we all are safe. My uncle refuses to leave until my grandmother passes away. Is that hard to tell my dad? Yeah. Will I tell my dad? Probably not. My dad wouldn't appreciate knowing that my uncle refuses to live in peace until my grandmother passes away. How hard is that to tell somebody? Very hard. I have lost so many people I am so close to. And sometimes I wish they would listen and just cross over altogether. There's no need for them to stay. Everybody will be okay. I visited an orphanage the other day. The children had died in a fire there. As I walked into the cemetery where they were buried, I was scared. For once in my life, I was scared. Because I felt the hurt, I felt the pain, I felt the fear in each one of those children's lives. The day they died, they were scared, they were frantic. They didn't know what was going to happen. And in the end, they passed away. To feel that kind of hurt, to feel that kind of pain, it's excruciating, especially when it hits you in a spot that you can't explain. My husband, he has been very supportive of me for the last 4 years, has watched me and been there for me, and understands that sometimes I can't control what happens. I could be walking by, driving by, standing near somebody who has passed away and not even be able to control whether I hear them or not. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks with a really bad infection. During those 2 weeks, I was able to tell nurses when people were going to pass away. I was able to tell them the things that they didn't want to know. My nurse was in my room. I said, "You better go. Room 203 is going to be needing you soon." As soon as she was walking out my door, the code blue came on. My husband was scared, and he asked me or how I knew. I told him, "You know how I know." Last night, I walked upstairs to our bedroom. As I approached, I seen his dad, who passed away last year, standing in the corner. I came downstairs with a smile on my face, and he asked me what was wrong or what was going on, because when I smile, there's always something positive going on. And I said, "Babe, your dad's here." When I said that, his face lit up. His dad was his biggest role model. He did everything with his dad. Some of you might ask why I'm recording this, why I'm doing it. And I'm going to start taking you in the life of a medium. I'm going to start showing you and letting you feel the things that I feel. How, you ask? Through emotion. You will see me at my brightest, at my darkest, in the moment in between. You'll be with me when I go on some of my walks. You will be there when I help people. You will be able to see the things that I can do. A lot of people say they can do things, they really can't. But for me, it's an everyday thing. It's my life.